Alright guys, so today we're going to be jumping into Kona. I believe I'm saying that correct. I have no idea what this game is or what it is about, but we are going to see what it is. Need the music. Alright. Here we go. Like I said, this is Kona. I believe it's set in like the 1970s. So we are heading. I believe you're a detective also. Yeah, 1970. This is apparently happening in
sought
Canada.
information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done.
Oh, I actually get to drive?
They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it. When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
Gonna look around. Oh. Hello. Huh. Hold on one second. Okay, so. Okay, there we go. And knock that camera's sensitivity down a little bit. Much better. I like that they actually managed to make it a Chevrolet.
Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it. Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself. Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business. William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
Really? This is why we don't touch the radio while we are driving. Gotta pay attention. Look at that, I got knocked out for a couple hours. Carl! Wake up, Carl! Carl, Weezer, wake up!
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the urgent care.
What a wonderful way to start the game off, you know, get in an accident. It's just like every game you ever play. Now let's go to the truck. This, and that. Okay.
The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help. It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore. This deep in the country, his last hope was to find an abandoned garage or a farm by the roadside. His life depended on it.
Hey, look, I found a cabin.
A fire can't be started with a snap of the fingers. Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more and was now on his way to new adventures.
So what, do I just need to keep running off into the woods? I have a feeling I'm just going to have to run. Yep. Nothing. Can't really see anything. Alright, I guess we're just gonna go down this way. Okay, can't go that way. Alright. Interesting. Car on fire? No. Okay. I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do.
Carl, ever diligent in his work, always carried his log on him, in which he scribbled down thoughts and leads alike during the course of his investigations.
Okay, so I'm still missing something. Oh yes, puzzle solving. Yeah.
The Polaroid, Carl's long-standing and faithful ally, had seen its share of husbands caught red-handed cheating. There's always something out there waiting to be snapped away. Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes, the Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry. Jean-Luc Bédard had without a doubt been the closest man in the village to William Hamilton, otherwise known as Uncle Willie. Carl's military training had made him a very punctual man. Being late to his meeting with Hamilton was out of the question. Now wasn't a good time to wander about. Hamilton was still out there. The truck was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by. Surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. Something fell to the bottom of the box. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Hate was in the air. Seems like some villagers barely tolerated each other. Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized. Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him? Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death. Perhaps that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already. An explosion suddenly occurred outside. A radiator without power is as good as a wood stove without logs. The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time. Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see. The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone.
Punch the price, 2 numbers minimum, push sales, then crank it 2 times, punch it if it don't work.
According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though. The murder weapon. What was that doing there, Carl wondered. Hamilton must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough. That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
Well, that was easy. Let's go to the garage. Wow, mess in here. Need a pair of needle nose pliers. Alright, I think I found what I needed.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Okay.
Carl knew straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there.
I don't know exactly where I'm going.
There should be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick. In spite of Dr. Beaupré's goodwill, the place didn't look much like a physician's office. It could easily be mistaken for a sewing shop. For the one-eyed, or for other vision problems, the eye patch was the way to go. Carl got the trembles as he imagined the excruciating pain that kind of scalpel could no doubt inflict. Within these miserable walls, patients probably felt more like in a slaughterhouse than in a doctor's office. A communist manifesto. Only a few years ago, this type of allegiance meant prison time. And even at present, the Western world was very wary of the Soviet threat. Why would the doctor own such a book? There was no doubt that the doctor and Hamilton knew each other very well. The good doctor, flanked by his beautiful spouse. Pure happiness, captured on cardstock. Carl recognized this woman's soulful eyes. Was it Dr. Beaupré who had hit him head-on at the village border? Nobody kills a rich patient to start a revolution. It didn't make any sense. He had to dig deeper still to understand. Luckily, that was Carl Faubert's specialty. A chamber pot. Fortunately for Carl, inspecting it wouldn't further this particular investigation. Dr. Beaupré had done his medical studies quite far from here. He was surely one of the first students out of the new campus to settle on the mountainside. Doctors used light-reflecting frontal mirrors to look inside the patient's cavities. That was a bit unsettling. But back then, it was pretty much always the case with medicine. Someone had lost a few liters of blood here. Carl's first thought had been a lumber accident, someone's hand cut by a saw, or a hunting accident. In any case, whoever had lost all this blood couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they were already dead. The injured could be given to Merbroman, smudged all over their injuries.
Alright, so I'm looking for a magnet, but I'm not finding one. Okay, so I'm going to go out here. What's that? I have a lantern. A roll of duct tape. Still have yet to find the magnet. I'm not dumb enough to go walk off into the woods either in a freaking snowstorm. Alright, there's gotta be something I'm missing here. that's got to be that's got to be everything that's here because I mean.
Carl felt like he knew the doctor now. His belongings had spoken lengths about him. But what Carl had heard worried him.
Oh man, okay. Let's go down this way. Always use fire starter, that's a good thing. Alright, don't have a key. Okay. I don't think there would be anything down here overlooking. Yeah. It never hurts to look, but it does hurt to freeze. Carl's inventory is full.
Oh, mon bonhomme! Qu'est-ce que tu fais là, l'étrange? Je m'attendais pas à ce qu'un étrange retontisse par ici. Moi te dire, je prends plus de chance depuis que ça rôde dans ce bout-là. J'ai ma carabine au bout du doigt, et puis bang, 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 si ça s'approche.
It's not a shotgun. It's a rifle.
Si tu veux du linge chaud, parce que t'es habillé comme un gars de la ville, je dirais pas non à une bonne bouteille de caribou. Puis tu pigeras ce que tu voudras parmi mes guenilles. C'est encore beau. Tout ce qui est vieilli est bien meilleur. Vois-tu le livre, là? C'est le Wendigo. Ouais, le Wendigo. Un guerrier qui devient un loup pour se venger de sa grosse peine. Ben oui, une couche. Tu peux-tu tout faire en même temps, toi? Hé, la Corriveau, Batèche, ça te passe l'envie de te marier, la Corriveau. Elle tuait tous ses maris, squick, les uns après les autres. Pas de pitié dans le mariage. Dans mon temps, c'était comme sur l'image. On était vrais, fiers, forts, puis on avait le bon lieu de notre bord. Ah, la belle pétarade. En 17 que c'était. Et le Kaiser, il se souvient de moi avec ma belle carabine. Bang, bang, que je lui disais. Bang, bang, bang. Ah, le bon temps. Cadeau, ça ouvre l'appentis. Prends-la, je m'en fous. Perds ton temps dans mes déchets, je te raconte ce qui arrive.
I don't understand a single word you're saying except for the subtitles. Equipment. Oh, I do have a gun.
Carl, like many of his contemporaries, felt like he had more trouble breathing when he wasn't smoking. Cigarette was his own personal breathing assistant.
I kind of want to pick up the hatchet, but it's not letting me. I want to get the hatchet.
An axe, not too shabby. Carl felt he needed to protect himself.
Okay, so you can swing it. Wonder what would happen if I walk in here with this axe.
Tu m'amènes un bon galon de caribou, puis on devient amis. Sinon, mon petit gars, tu sors avant que je sorte.
Bottle of caribou. Okay, so I can always come back to the old man. Put this in there, just put this in there. Put that in. Put all the photos in there. Flyers in there. Logs in there. Matches in there. God dog, I got a lot of matches. Let's put the pliers in there. Hardware out. Okay. I'm gonna go back and grab this lantern and put it in there because, you know, everybody needs it. We need a lantern. Okay. You never know what you're gonna need. Alright. And lantern. Okay, so now we're gonna go. I just hope I remember how to get back to this guy.
There, Carl had fed his mind, but had forgotten the harsh reality that his body also needed nourishment, especially in the dead of winter.
Alright, we're gonna go up this way because it turned in there at the right. So the next time I come back through, it'll be on the left. I just gotta not go so fast. Slow down, Carl, before we get in a wreck again. I can't see. Good Lord, where are we going? I have no idea where we're going. It's like we're just driving right now, and I have no idea. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Spark plug.
Sometimes, and especially around here, people are so possessive with their land. As a dog is with hydrants. Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this? as if an iceberg came out of the ground? That was a first. The milk was sorted by color, from the whitest to the greenest, or in other words, from the freshest to the sourest. Perhaps someone was expecting an important call. In any case, that person's in for a long wait. Carl already noticed that telephone services weren't provided in this area.
I have a feeling what I'm doing right now is collecting snowmobile parts. So I can put a snowmobile together, so. Close that door. I have a hammer.
These scribblings were undoubtedly the mark of a tormented mind. Something wasn't right in the poor mechanic's head.
Is that bones? Okay. And something was right in this dude's head for a reason. I mean, look at him. Is a rock collector. Rocks! I love them. I love rocks.
Weird stuff. Kind of a crossing between a colander and a hairdryer. What was it
He's
for?
He's afraid of the
to play telepath?
aliens
To
coming
protect
to get
against
him.
nuclear waves?
The man is serious.
Carl deducted this was a map of the area. Were those pins pointing to places of interest?
Police letter.
Roswell, Atamipek, same story. Large deserts conducive to extravagant follies.
Alright. Headlight and a cooler.
By following the plan, Carl was led to believe that the snowmobile's parts had to be scattered about in the vicinity.
I'm gonna have to go get the pliers from. Whoa. Whoa, Nelly. Oh, cool. Okay, I can go grab that gas can and I can fill it with gas can. The man has bear traps. Okay, I gotta go to the truck.
The man seemed petrified in ice. What Carl saw terrified him, and he didn't know if it was the fear or the cold that was responsible for his hair standing on end all over his body. The poor man, before being frozen solid, seemed to be defending the entrance to his cabin. But from what?
Oh. Interesting, so now we're dealing with aliens. We go to a murder, go to aliens. Oh, he got frozen. Man.
Something very important must have been in there for the man to take such time and effort to hide it. But Carl didn't know how to reach it.
Repair the spaceship.
The week of October 5th, thought Carl. That was this week. The plug should have been here by now.
Handlebar.
The very first steps of man on the moon were made more than a year ago. The event had surely captivated the mechanic's mind for him to still keep this around. An indisputable fact that machines like this entailed a level of intellectual finesse that Carl was lacking.
Okay, so we built it, it blew up.
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold. Carl hadn't lived up to his good...
I guess I need to keep the Polaroid film on me. Okay, gas can.
Find a reputation. He still hadn't found any of the wealth contained in Lamotte's lands.
I need to take a picture.
Prince? Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was it a possible lead?
Might be slowly freezing. Snowmobile ski. We need to go inside because we are actually freezing. Oh man, I gotta go back out here to the car. Run, Carl. We're not done here yet. As far as I can see, we're just beginning. I gotta get some matches. Okay. They definitely don't need to freeze to death.
Well, this truck's not going anywhere. Where were the amputated parts? Carl grinned as he pictured a Frankenstein-esque car lying around somewhere made of parts from a dozen different vehicles.
Oh, there we go. We were about to freeze to death. That is definitely not what we need. Gotta warm back up real quick. Get our mental capacity up. Because we don't need to die. You know, we don't need that in our lives. Do. Alright. Let's go. Fire starter. Always useful. Missing a piece. Just when I thought, what is that? Place track, okay. So I need to find a track. Be around here somewhere. Did he throw the track in that bucket? What did he throw up there? What the heck I'm looking for.
To all appearances, Carl concluded, the owner of the place had moved more essentials from his house inside the garage. Peculiar man indeed.
Very much so. A very odd fellow. Okay, so where would it be? Saw blades.
nice carillon. They say it's supposed to soothe the soul. But with this powerful gale that seemingly never sleeps, it was far more likely to get on anyone's nerves. What good was a motorless car? The mechanic sure had an odd way to go about repairing things.
Can't find the track. Like, it's not making any sense. I'm running off into the woods to go look for stuff.
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
Not long. I just brought him back inside. He can chill, bro. October of 1970. Polaroid for them. When one isn't enough, why not buy 8?
The man has a passion for intergalactic things. Back then, people were obviously scared of the Russian atomic bomb, but an invasion by extraterrestrials was a legit fear as well. Seems like the mechanic had made his choice.
Track will be hanging on the wall. I see a track hanging on the wall. Saw the handlebars. What? see the track. Oh my god, I'm an idiot.
A bit of gas, a new spark plug, and the key, and this thing would run perfectly. All he needed to do now was to find all that.
Where's the key? Do you have the snowmobile key? Snowmobile key? Okay.
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Carl's fine. What in the world is going on here?
The place looked more like a pigsty than a house. A heavy stench of curdled milk, cheap alcohol, and boiled cauliflower filled the air. At Jean Blouin, seems like that pig had a name after all. Rock music invaded the minds of men even in the remotest of places. The man didn't own a turntable, though, so there's that going for him. Back then, in Africa and elsewhere, people were ready to take up arms to stand against the yoke of English imperialism. In Montreal, mailboxes were blown up, abductions were carried out, and violent manifestos were distributed to media outlets. But around here, in the great northernmost, all a man could do is curse out loud against a faraway evil and pray for the revolution to arise. That man, by any reckoning, was from that very stock.
Interesting. A gun rack? A gun rack.
You had to be out of your mind to cook up white whiskey at home. The all-surrounding stench of alcohol alone was probably enough to gas a man to death.
To the truck, because what this probably needs is a bottle.
That truck had obviously seen its share of gravel roads. Carl wasn't a mechanic, but he could easily tell that only the most heartfelt prayer would bring this old beater back from its slumber. With that cold, however, it was more likely that it would wait until next spring to wake up. With a homemade shooting range such as this, it wasn't hard to imagine a stray bullet ending its course inside the flesh of an unsuspecting passerby. Granted, Carl thought, there wasn't much in the way of passersby around here.
Alright, so I have another bottle.
Carl knew right away that the owner of this place wasn't a copper collector. No, this was a junkman's base of operations. The guy definitely seemed like quite the expert in scavenging scrap metal, with or without permission, surely. In the right hands, red metal could sell like hotcakes. You had to be out of your mind to cook up white whiskey at home. The all-surrounding stench of alcohol alone was probably enough to gas a man to death. Carl now knew how to quench the drunkard's thirst. The rag reeked of fermented vomit. Carl wondered how one could bear to live in such gross and horrid conditions. You had to be out of your mind to cook up white whiskey at home. The all-surrounding stench of alcohol alone was probably enough to gas a man to death.
Using the empty bottle, beer bottle.
You had to be out of your mind to cook up white whiskey at home. The all-surrounding stench of alcohol alone was probably enough to gas a man to death.
Okay, well, it's not letting me make the fucking hooch. This is just wonderful, bro. I hit the wrong button. That's the jump button? Really? Well, I think I might have messed up. I'm gonna go back and restart. Really? A bot chat. Alright, let's try this again.
At Jean Blouin. Seems like that pig had a name after all. Back then, in Africa and elsewhere, people were ready to take up arms to stand against the yoke of English imperialism. In Montreal, mailboxes were blown up, abductions were carried out, and violent manifestos were distributed to media outlets. But around here, in the great northernmost, all a man could do is curse out loud against a faraway evil and pray for the revolution to arise. That man, by any reckoning, was from that very stock. The rag reeked of fermented vomit. Carl wondered how one could bear to live in such gross and horrid
I
conditions.
don't understand what is going on. Empty bottle.
If Carl had at any point wished to get his hands on some caribou, he couldn't have wished for better than a distillery like this one.
So I had the empty bottle, I had the beer bottle. Why is it not letting me do this? What in the world? Okay. Oh, that's why, because I think I remember now. Documents, let's see. White whiskey too much isn't a valid quantifier for that. Sherry wine for added mellowness. Okay, so where do I find the sherry wine? It's not telling me where I can find it. Okay. So I still gotta head back to the general store. Because apparently... that is where the see that wrong. Map. Shed will be on the left when I get back through all this. Yeah, go back across this bridge. Back to the general store, so there it is. So there's a ladder in here? See a ladder the first time I was in here. Up there. Alright. So now we have the sherry wine. Poor dead man.
Carl felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out.
Alright, now we can make the caribou. Go get that code from the old guy. 'Cause it should be... that was the doc's house. Left. Yeah, it's down there on the right. That first gate. Gotta turn by this rock. Right? Yeah. Figured it out. let's go get the coat from the old man. Shit, I'm gonna have to go back to the general store because there's something else that I need.
Carl felt that it was mission accomplished with the wicked nectar in his hands.
Critique-toi, mon caribou, pour revenir de même. Ah, quand on cherche, on trouve. Parce que je t'aime bien, à cette heure, je vais te dire quelque chose. Tu fais bien de prendre ma pénis. Parce que par là-bas, tu vas rencontrer le vrai froid. Un froid qui glace comme t'en as jamais connu dans ta vie.
The gun's not loaded. Ain't even got one in the chamber. Dude, how do you plan on shooting anything? Useless. Alright, so now we have the winter coat.
The old man's cabin had been very generous to Carl. He couldn't have asked for more.
Alright, back to the general store. Because there's a crowbar I need to fetch.
The crowbar was stuck under the lift. Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet. Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power.
You go in here and swap the power to from this from in here to the things are everywhere. Because now we're about to do that should be power to the garage. Yep, we got power in here now because that light's on.
At long last, the crowbar was within Carl's grasp. Surely it would come in handy at some point.
Oh yeah. Put the pliers up, that up. Those gas can.
beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The seeker had saw it.
Going this way. I think there's some stuff over here that we have to do before I can get the snowmobile.
A wintry atmosphere surrounded the house. The soundlessness of the area suggested it was empty. When finding a boot, one wonders what became of the foot. The key, which seemed to be meant for a padlock, bore an inscription reading Cloutier et Fils. A company name. Better keep an eye open. Businesses weren't exactly numerous around these parts. The spirograph amused Carl. It was a nice modern toy, aside from being repetitive by nature and completely useless. Still, it found its way into many Quebecois homes. A pay stuff for some undoubtedly harsh lumberjack work. Alexandre Blais felled trees and chopped woods for Cloutier et Fils. A window left open in that weather? Perhaps something had to be watched. The sheets were in such a way that indicated a rude awakening, followed by a hurried escape. What had happened here? Money in a jar. What a shame. Carl would have loved cookies. Well, looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Little Martin Blais with his Uncle Pierre. There was a deep sense of bonding and pride coming out of the picture. Carl felt sorry for the man. No one deserved such a cruel fate. The picture had been taken inside the house. It was the same wallpaper. Judging by the smiles, nobody suspected the impending misfortunes.
Of course I... Alright, Oh! Hello! There's a key somewhere.
Carl's big fingers prevented him from reaching the key.
Okay, so okay, so I just need to find a magnet. Say it like that. I need a magnet, not a magnet. This wood. Where do you find a magnet in this game, though? Because that's what I've been looking for, because... This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Because, boom, this way we can have some fire in here, because I have a feeling this is not the last time I'll have to come here, so... I wanted to see once I find a magnet, step out. I highly doubt there's a magnet in the freaking mailbox. Yeah. We're gonna go left.
The track was fresh. That meant the car sunk down just a little while ago. Now where the hell could the passengers possibly have gone? Someone had been playing with a crossbow here. A very dangerous game. A bolt could hit someone's tire or their eye. It could even kill someone if the aim was right. There was only void where the road should be. Carl hated dead ends. He felt trapped. It was as if the road had drowned in the lake. He would have to find
We can't go
help
that
by
way
another
because
road.
it looks like they went this way.
Someone must have dropped this in a hurry, but whoever did was heading into the woods. Carl's tracking instincts were quickly kicking in. Someone must have dropped this in a hurry, but whoever did was heading into the woods.
Well,
Carl's tracking instincts were quickly kicking in.
Without the snowmobile, and I really don't feel like playing with that kind of stuff right now. Just because of the simple fact being that out in the woods, no snowmobile. Need collecting the wood, basically something right here. Get back in the truck. Alright, so we can't go no further than where we've been. I wonder though, it had to have been those people that were a lone boot. That there was one boot left on the porch. And one boot in the back of this car. Pull over. See if there's anything in this wagon. Crap ton of bottles. Shovel, stuck in a tree. Did not see this when we were coming through before. I'm gonna take a look down there. There's in bottles. Wow, I need to really start looking at stuff on the side of the road because I don't really have any fire starter left. We have enough wood for a little while. Around with a hatchet.
It was a typical shack, just like the ones you hear about in Quebecois legends. Local lumberjacks used it to rest and twice a day eat up their pea soup.
Folgers.
The leftover food, the clothes, the general warmth of the place, no evidence of escape. Carl was sure of it. People were here not long ago, and they expected to come back.
Bottle. Really no, but we're gonna continue down this road and see what's this way. Where I'm looking at. You see the road.
The crossbow bolts had the same origin. Carl was sure of it. Who was it? And more importantly, what was being hunted like this? Without a single window to brighten things up, the inside of the cabin was almost pitch black. Beware of close encounters of knee and furniture.
Go ahead and just start the fire in here. Toothbrush is still wet. Somebody was being hunted.
Everything was set up for a well-deserved snack. It seemed like the place hadn't been empty for long, But without knowing exactly why, Carl had the feeling no one was coming back anytime soon. Solitaire, a card game only hermits can truly enjoy. Carl felt depressed at the thought of playing this.
And I just wasted my last fire starter on this.
Carl never thought he would be dancing with the wolves.
I'm just surprised I made the shot. Carl never got me dead with the wolves. Yeah, well, you know what happened? Carl had to do what he had to do, because otherwise he was about to get eaten by a wolf. Erected it. Braking does not work in this game at all. And I'm coming up on the 2-hour mark. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it here. This is just the first part of Kona. Obviously it's gonna be a very long game to play. So next time.